All right, all right. Much respect to all the people out there in Jamaica. Hope y'all doing great. Hope you made it through this horrible situation. And I want to break down my thoughts on the situation. If you're watching me, you will notice how many people I will probably have to put on timeout or block because they will try to mislead my audience. Anybody that watches me know that I do not believe that these natural disasters are manipulated by the system. I believe they are 100% natural disasters based on our mismanagement of the planet. We are not taking care of the planet, and the idea that these natural disasters are man-made is a way to overlook mismanagement of the planet. You don't want to face it. People don't want to face that your contraptions are not in tune with the environment. It's just that simple. You want to believe that all your inventions and contraptions are perfect, work great, and that is some evil person that is using weather machines to destroy their own investments, which makes no sense that billionaires and trillionaires would destroy their own hotels and resorts, if you say so, and their own infrastructure. But if you say so, if you say so. And so conspiracy people believe that everything is fine and that nature is being intentionally manipulated so they don't have to change. And that's the only reason you want to believe that. You don't want to change. You don't want to change. You want to keep living the same way. You know, a long time Russ have been telling them, come, we will go burn down Babylon one more time. Come, we go march down Babylon one more time. For them soft, yes, them soft, yes, them soft. So come, we go chant down Babylon one more time. Men see their dreams and inspirations crumble in front of their face, and all their wicked intentions to destroy the human race. That's why I know. That's why I know. And that's why I know this reggae music is going to chant down Babylon. We've been saying fireborn Babylon for many, 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 many years. It's nothing new. But people just don't believe it. Hold on one second. Check it out. So people don't believe that the system has to change. They believe all of this is a natural occurrence, which is ridiculous. Let's look at it like this. Imagine if you're eating horrible food and you're getting sick, but you believe someone else is using electronics to make you sick. Will you ever change the way you're eating? If you believe somebody else is magically making you sick and you can eat all this potato chips, and artificial flavors, and artificial colors preservative, and the system is manipulating you, making you sick with electronics, will you stop eating the garbage? No. And the way you're dealing with the earth is the same way. You're doing all of these negative things. You have all of this junk, right? And you don't believe anything. Look, yes, global warming is real, with overwhelming scientific evidence showing that the Earth's temperature is rising and that human activity is the principal cause. Evidence includes rising average global temperatures, melting ice sheets and glaciers, and changes in weather patterns, all of which are linked to the increase of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide from the burning of fossil fuels. Rising temperatures, human activity, melting ice, rising sea levels, extreme weather, and scientific consensus. It's all right there. So my heart goes out to the brothers and sisters in Jamaica. But this Babylon system is not designed to be in tune with Mother Nature. We're out of tune. In 2024, the U.S. experienced 17 severe storm events and a record breaking number of tornadoes, including 1,855 confirmed across the country, with Oklahoma setting a new state record. These events were part of a larger total of $27 billion weather and climate disasters that occurred in the U.S. Overall, the United States experienced $27 billion weather and climate disaster events, severe storms. 17 of these events were classified as severe storms. Tornadoes, there was a near record number of tornadoes with at least 1,855 confirmed in the U.S., making it the second most active year for tornadoes in recorded history. Record breaking. Oklahoma set a new state record for the number of confirmed tornadoes in a single year. Here in the city of Chicago, we haven't had snow where you had to wear boots in 4 or 5 years. No snow, no below zero weather, 60 degrees in January and February. And people believe that weather machines are doing that every day. The weather machines are making it. They're using weather machines. I guess weather machines did this in Arizona 3 weeks ago. This dust storm, I believe that was a weather machine, made the dust storm in Arizona. Not to mention the storm they just had. That I got a friend in Arizona that had to run in another room and hide. They thought they didn't know what was going on. You've seen what just happened in Texas. Texas has been getting beat constantly. And this situation in Jamaica is not normal. It's not normal. It's not normal at all. But people don't want to believe in cause and effect. People don't want to believe that your actions or events have an effect, which to me, it doesn't make much sense. To me, it doesn't make much sense. I don't get it. I'm not sure what type of logic people are using where they actually believe that you can have this much jet fuel and it just everything would just be normal. Like the earth would be exactly like it was before you had all these planes. Who believes that you can put all these planes in the atmosphere and the earth will be exactly like it was when you didn't have all of these? Does anybody really believe that? Did this daily like this, year in and year out, has like no effect? Not to mention the satellites. The smart city. I'm glad you brought that up. They're saying they're destroying these things to be smart, build smart cities, Jazzy. My question is this: can they guarantee that natural disasters will not hit the smart cities? And until they guarantee that, if I'm not correct, Jazzy, the only way they can prove that they intentionally had natural disasters to build smart cities is only after they build smart cities and have no natural disasters. Who believes that when they build their smart cities, the natural disasters will not happen? Does anybody really believe that? And who believes that smart cities won't affect the environment because the smart cities are actually stupid cities, to be honest? They're not smart. Not really. There's nothing smart about a computerized city. Basically, a smart city is a dumb city because when the electricity go out, nothing will work. That doesn't seem to be so smart. Also, will they ever have the money to build their smart cities if they keep losing trillions with what they got being destroyed, with their infrastructure constantly being destroyed? Will they be able to build smart cities? Like with the infrastructure destroyed in Jamaica, can they put a smart city up? And a smart city in the middle of the ocean is not going to get hit by a hurricane that's been here forever. And one reason Mother Nature didn't do so much damage is because we didn't alter it that much. And we didn't have nothing for it to damage but trees. We didn't have crazy buildings like downtown Chicago. So you all really believe that they could keep stacking junk downtown Chicago and just keep building 100-story buildings and it will be fine, huh? Y'all believe all this stuff is going to work and be fine? Somebody believes that? You believe that the system is smart? They come up with all this stuff, Jazzy. They do all this stuff, Jazzy, to put you all to sleep, to cover the fact they're ruining everything. And every time it's a natural disaster, they start selling the public distractions, right? So if they mess up everything, they say, oh no, we did it intentionally. This is the story they're selling. They're like, no, 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 we didn't build all this stuff and it went bad. No, Pharaoh. We didn't build this junk and Mother Nature tore up our junk. No, we intentionally tore up our junk. That's that's the story. That's basically the story. That's the story they sell it. No, 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 Pharaoh. Pharaoh's wrong. No, Pharaoh's wrong. No, 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 we're not building junk and nature's tearing it up. We're intentionally tearing our stuff up because we got a better plan. So don't look down on our stuff. All our stuff is great. Because if you believe that these stuff has been doing intentionally to build something new, then that means you believe this stuff is great. You believe your cars are great. You believe electric cars is going to work, which anybody with any sense knows electric cars is going to fail horribly. You believe that your electricity is going to stay on when they put it on. And you believe they're going to have a bunch of satellites and they're just going to go around and they're going to stay right where they're at. They're not going to fall, are they? Because they're perfect. They're God, ain't they? Because you believe they're God. You don't believe in God anymore. Jazzy, they don't believe in God anymore. They believe in Lucifer and his inventions. They don't, people are not godly anymore. They believe that the way God made the earth is wrong, and this new person is, his stuff is going to work perfect. Even though they're making slaves out of you, even though they're ruining your life, even though you got mad cancer, mad diabetes, amputations, even though the evidence of his society has already clearly is failing. I just can't believe that you think that it's going to get better. You believe it's going to get better with dialysis centers everywhere. You believe the food's going to get, you believe when they build those cities, it's going to just work perfectly. There's not going to be any more tornadoes. Those tornadoes were only to build smart cities. When technically, if you go back to the 1800s, technically, these are smart cities. And technically, the new cities will be smarter cities. Because compared to what the Chicago was like when I was born in 1958, the way the buses were made, no buses had air conditioning. You had to roll the windows down. So technically, compared to when I was born in 1958, Chicago would be a smart city comparatively, wouldn't you say? When you say I'm on this internet, when you say that we're already in a smarter city, so should they call it a smart city or should they call it a smarter city? I'm just saying, because technically, this would be a smart city comparatively speaking. Am I wrong? Am I wrong, Jazzy? Wouldn't aren't we already in a smarter cities? Isn't Jamaica a smarter city? Jamaica didn't have poles and wires. Jamaica had palm trees. I don't know. Wouldn't these wires be like a smarter city than the natural Jamaica that was tropical? Wouldn't this junk that they built, wouldn't this be smarter? I would think this is the smarter. I think this is the smarter city. Isn't this a smart world already? All these airplanes, y'all don't think that's a smart world? This ain't a dumb, this is not a primitive world. What do they mean smart city if you got this many planes in the air per day? You can go look it up, sweetheart. According to what I know, Jazzy, when they got smart and they built the Tower of Babel, it fell too when they got smart. From what I understand, when they got too smart, if it had a flood. Noah, it flooded. From what I understood, the smart cities didn't work then because that's why they're not here, right? If the smart cities were smart in ancient times, Jazzy, wouldn't they still have a smart asses here? So if they had smart cities before and they got wiped out and everything went back to nature, I would think uh, history will repeat itself. I don't. It doesn't feel too smart to me. I feel like when I was a child, we were smarter than now. It was a much better way to live, riding our bicycles, enjoying life. A man was a man, and he could, and a woman was a woman, and all that. So I don't know. It doesn't seem smart to me. Doesn't seem too smart. Not to me. Any where are we going to plug up all these electric vehicles? Yeah, that's not going to work. It's all out of tune. And what's crazy about it is that even though all the signs are showing that people, and it's just like the cities will be the only thing smart, Jazzy, because the people sure ain't gonna be smart because all the glaciers are melted. And if all the glaciers melt, and I'm in a smart city, my smart city might end up underwater. I would think. I would think that my smart city will end up underwater if that's what I would think. I would think that if I had a smart city and it was so smart it melted everything, I would think my smart city would probably end up looking like Bangladesh was just recently. I would think if you plug up too much stuff, it might even get warm. And it might even look like Greece looked last year. I don't know. What y'all think? What y'all think if we add more heat to the environment? Y'all think that'll work out great? I'm just asking for a friend. 'Cause I don't believe it. I believe that the earth is being ran by some old people that don't care about you all's future. They're not going to be here anyway. And it's like the Song of Solomon in the Apocrypha, where they said, we're not going to be here anyway, so just pick every flower and the hell with the future. That's what I believe. I believe these old billionaires and trillionaires don't care about the future. That's y'all's problem. They're going to build whatever they're going to build. and pass away and leave it to you. That's what I believe. That's what's in the Apocrypha. That's what I believe. I don't believe they care. I don't. They know that you're not going to have any bees and nothing's going to get pollinated. They know. They know. I don't think they care. I think they're, oh, look at Trump. Look at Biden. What do they care about your grandchildren? Honestly. Look how they didn't have any food for the cattle for the last couple of years. All in Texas, the ranchers didn't have hay. Instead of instead of hay, instead of water, they started trying to save hay. They said, "Hey, ain't no need in raising cattle. We need to grow hay." So instead of letting the cattle eat the hay, they made more money last year selling hay than they did selling the cattle because of these extreme droughts. And I believe that the young generation are the perfect suckers to tell the oh, this is intentional. Don't listen to Pharaoh. This is not a mistake. We intentionally destroying everything so we could build a bird city. We intentionally ruining all the crops so we don't have any food. And we intentionally going to South America giving them money because we got to go there to get food because we intentionally destroying the food up here. So we intentionally try to go to Venezuela and Argentina intentionally because we intentionally put ourselves in a position where we got to intentionally go somewhere else and find food. I guess. I guess all that's intentional. I guess. I guess that's what they're selling the young generation. They be thinking they know something. No, Pharaoh, you don't know what's going on. See, they doing this to build smart cities. I said, well, one thing for sure. If it's really a smart city, they probably won't let you live there. for sure, for sure, they ain't gonna let you live there because you're not that smart. If you think they're intentionally tearing up everything to build smart cities, which is absolutely ridiculous. You would build them and replace. You wouldn't just wipe everything out and start from scratch. And I guess, and people, if that's the business model, tear everything up and then build a smart city. And in the meantime, in between, and then it's going to work perfect. The smart city's it's going to work. Nothing else we had worked, but that'll work. Hey, Jazzy, ain't nothing worked yet. None of this Babylon stuff has worked. The only thing that has ever worked was nature. The only thing I've ever worked was apple trees and coconut trees and a natural ocean and natural lakes and natural rivers and people just using the amount of wood they needed to build a home. The Tower of Babel never worked. Babylon never worked, ever. It always failed. The only thing that works is nature. Unnatural living has always failed. Always. Always. And that's what they have was an unnatural living. I can't keep my skin moist. I have to use so much coconut oil and olive oil. My skin is so dry in this, whatever this environment is, with all this dry stuff. There's no moisture anywhere. There's no moisture nowhere. You gotta go and stand in the shower and depend on them to clean yourself with their extremely clean water that they're pumping from under the ground. That that's perfect, isn't it? Isn't your water out your sink in your shower? Isn't that just perfect? Because that's the same water gonna come out your perfect smart city. Is it gonna be a smart city with dirty water and dirty air and storms where the whole city is turned off? I was in the store. This was about 10 years ago. And I'm in there and it started raining and lightning said boom and all the lights went out. And they couldn't ring up nobody because they had the smart cash registers. Now, if they would have had the dumb cash registers, ching, 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 then we could have did dumb business. But they had the smart cash registers. So nobody could buy nothing. And I think that's genius. I think it's absolutely genius to have your cash registers and everything you depend on hooked up to electricity. I think it's just the smartest thing ever. That's why a lot of us we don't like the word smart. I hate the word smart. Smart is one of the worst words ever. We like the word wise. They're not going to build no wise cities. They're going to build smart cities. And smart is actually stupid. But the word smart is dumb. Actually, stupid. Actually, because smart is like charge your car up and drive. And if it run out of charge, the door won't open. You can't get out or nothing. I see the brother. He was in a Tesla, and his battery ran out, and a hacker's paradise. Yeah, his his battery ran out. He couldn't get out the car. Oh my God, my YouTube just been acting funny 2 or 3 days. I was wondering what's going on. It probably was a hurricane. It probably was a satellite. Y'all remember I was trying to go live and it's working now. And now I'm thinking after the storm, oh, that was probably the satellite was interfering with my yeah. It's just crazy. These people are crazy. Look at Sierra Leone. I can't even show you all of the natural disasters. It's so many of them. It's absolutely crazy. And the people of Jamaica, I don't know what they're going to do. It's going to take many years to rebuild that stuff, okay? It- Anybody think they're just going to just put that back together? They're not going to just put that back together. It's going to take many, many, many years. They're all the way back in the Stone Age. This was in Africa last year, in Sierra Leone. You know, I was showing all the natural disasters on my Instagram, and do you know they started flagging them? It was like, Pharaoh, stop. I was. They are not showing you the natural disasters. There's like 20 natural disasters every week, sometimes 30 to 40 every week. I'm talking about crazy mudslides, earthquakes, all these Asian little towns and Asian countries and European countries and African countries. And even in the United States, they are not showing you what's really going on. And I tried to show it and they flagged me. Yeah, they flagged me for that. They don't want you to see. Look at Jamaica. Where they tried to mix Babylon with nature. They're trying to outdo nature. And the only reason they want to outdo nature is not for nothing righteous. So who believes that unrighteousness will work? Because the Babylon cities are unrighteous and wicked. So they put in a principle that they're going to build these wicked cities and it's going to work. It's going to work just excellent. And we all know it's not. We know. We know it's not going to work. Okay? We know it. But they're pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And what we're going to have to do is you're going to have to get your survival gear ready. Because eventually people are going to realize that you're putting your faith in dummies, that they're not intelligent, that they let their greed overcome common sense. Eventually, the people are going to wake up. And eventually, the people are going to realize that the way these people are so greedy for money, it will never work with the environment. Their greed will always cause destruction. Their selfishness. Because my friends in Arizona, they've been panicking in Arizona because this type of stuff's been happening. They had a microburst right after that, scared everybody out there. They don't know what's going on. My friends in Texas, they don't know what's going on. My friends in Africa, oh, you don't even want to know what's going on in Africa. They're not giving any media coverage to what's really going on this planet. I mean, none. None. The tornadoes have been horrific. They're keeping those quiet. They're keeping them quiet. The last tornadoes that came through here, Trump said nothing. He didn't even go see the people. It was crazy. I said, dang, he don't even go. And I ain't never seen a president like that. He don't visit none of the people with natural disasters. He don't say nothing. That's the first president I've seen don't say nothing. He don't say nothing. I never seen a president like that. He doesn't say nothing. I mean, not a word. Not a single word does he say. It's unbelievable. Look how they brushed. Look at Canada. How they covered that up. They just covered that up like it wasn't no big deal. It was so bad that about 4 or 5 months ago, they banned people from going in the woods. They said, don't go, you can't go in the woods in Canada. Eastern Canada, over by New York. They say you can't go in the woods because it's so dry. They want to make sure you don't throw down a cigarette butt, because if you throw down one cigarette butt, you could burn the whole country down. And if they catch you throw a cigarette butt, they lock you up in prison. Look it up. They ban people from going in the woods. I did a live on it. What is that, 2 months ago? That's how bad, that's how dry it is in Canada. Remember Canada had all these fires? None of this is natural. Now imagine under these circumstances, these fools talk about building a smart city. Building smart cities. And it's just like, if something is wrong with y'all. Something's wrong with y'all. Look at Canada. Remember this? This was just 2 years ago. Canada's still bone dry. Canada's still bone dry. They just hiding all that stuff in the news. It's bad, y'all. It's bad. I feel sorry for the people of Jamaica. People of Jamaica, I ride with you. I feel horrible about y'all's situation. I really do. I really do. I feel bad about that. The people of Jamaica are victims of a greedy society. That's what it is. We're not going to take it back, Josh, because they got us asleep. They have us in a system, Josh, where here's your bills, and this is how much you got to work to keep up. And this is the only little time you got for recreation. Okay? So they got you where you work from 9 to 5. You got to go to bed around 11. You get off at 5, you get home at 6. You get home at 6, you got to deal with the children and prepare dinner. 6, 7, 8, 9. Between 9 and 10, you got to put them to bed. You and your wife or your mate got to do what y'all trying to do, 10 or 11. You're pushing it. Stand up to 11 is pushing it. But we do it. We go to work with no sleep. Because depending on where you work at, you might got to get up at 6. Not only do you got to get up, your children got to be at school at the same time you got to be at work. But your children get out of school before you get off work. So your whole life is a slave. You just, what they call running and ripping, running and ripping, running and ripping. And if you want to get ahead, you got to zone out and chase the bag. Sometimes when you zone out to chase the bag, your mate is not rocking with you. So your mate feel like, well, you're neglecting me. So you could mess up your relationship or your marriage. Many times marriage could go bad. You chasing the bag. That same mate, if you're friends, you end up having to help them because they never picked up on chasing the bag. They thought it was funny until you broke up, and now they're struggling. And never come back and say, you know, I was wrong about you. I said you didn't spend a lot of time with me like you should, but now I see why. Because I can't even spend no time with myself now that I'm single. I don't even have no time for myself. So I understand why our relationship didn't seem as intimate as it could have been because the way these bills is in our schedule. You were right. And I need to borrow $300. And I don't know when I'm going to be able to give it back to you. My job is acting funny. All of these things. Bob Marley say, oh, what a rat race. This is a rat race. You got the horse race. You got the car race. You got the human race. But this is a rat race. So you're in a rat race. That's why if they build a smart city, it's a rat city. It's a sophisticated city for the rat race. That's what it is. That's how they got us living. And all of this stuff goes against the system, but they don't care. You live in a world where they will drill holes in the earth and suck all the oil out, and they don't care if they suck it out and it collapse. They'll cross that bridge when they get to it. They don't care if they drill oil in the ocean and hit some oil they can't plug up, and oil fill up the ocean, and lightning strike the ocean and the ocean catch on fire. They don't, all they think about is the dollar. And they're willing to sacrifice everything to be trillionaires and billionaires and live better than the rest of us. Because that's basically what you're doing, is making certain people live way better than you. And they'll tell you anything. We're going to build a smart city. And a smart city is going to be a city where you only can drive. You can't park your car there. Your car got to be parked. You got to ride a bike in there. You got to get passes to leave. Y'all believe the billionaires and trillionaires going to live in smart cities? No. They're going to live free. You're going to live in the smart city. Is the smart city going to be in tune with nature? Come on. No. It's going to be out of tune with nature. You know it, and I know it. So they're already brainwashing people, because every time something happened, they telling you they did it. They're making you think like they God. No, Pharaoh, that wasn't no real hurricane. They made that hurricane. They like God, Pharaoh. Pharaoh, they like God. They made that hurricane. That's what they pushing. They got you looking at them like God, like there ain't no natural disasters. Everything is HARP. There's no tornadoes, it's HARP. There's no earthquakes, it's HARP. There's no hurricanes, it's HARP. The people, the Babylon people is God. And we don't have natural disasters unless they make it happen. This is what they're teaching the young people. That every natural disaster, the trillionaires made it happen. Ain't no more God. Ain't no more nature. Mother Nature, there ain't no natural storms. There's no natural storms anymore. All the storms are done by HARP. It's the most crazy. It's just crazy. That wasn't no real hurricane. Master made that hurricane, Pharaoh. Master make all the natural disasters. There is no God. There is no nature. What do you mean nature? There ain't no nature. It's basically what you be saying. There's no nature. Everything is perfect. Why would there be a hurricane? The only way to be a hurricane is if Master make one. Because everything is perfect. Everything is perfect, Pharaoh. Master made that happen. You just don't know. Everything is a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy about the conspiracy about the conspiracy. And if they can sell you conspiracies, they can get away with anything. They can get away with everything. They built between sea level because people is dumb, Josh. They're not smart like that. People eat lesser creatures. How smart you gotta be to eat a chicken? And you a superior being designed to reach up and get your food off a tree. And you eating a chicken. He wants to get rid of the Amazon. He don't really want to get rid of the Amazon. That's not his idea. He doesn't want to get rid of the Amazon. You know, he don't want to really get rid of the Amazon. You know what I mean? It's not like he wants to get rid of the Amazon. You know, that's not how he's thinking. He's not thinking like that. He's not thinking, I want to get rid of the Amazon. He's just thinking, I need wood. I don't care where I get it from. And getting rid of Amazon is just a sidebar to getting wood. He just need wood. That's all. The motive is not to get rid of Amazon. The motive is get some wood. Basically, it's to be honest with you, is it okay? He's not thinking, he's not thinking, oh, get rid of the Amazon. That's not what he's thinking. He's thinking, I need some wood, and that's where the wood's at. They're not chipping away at it. They're getting wood. See, it's the concept, Elizabeth. What you're saying is right. The results are they're getting rid of the Amazon, but that's not their purpose. Their purpose is not to go get rid of the Amazon. Their purpose is to get some wood, wherever it's at. It just happens to be there. That's all. But that's not their purpose, is to get rid of the Amazon. That's not their purpose. Their purpose is you need toothpicks and paper. Your child needs paper for school. The reality is they built a system that they can't maintain, and you're a part of it. That you will not be able to have enough papers and pencil for schools, for books, and paper plates. That you've built an unnatural world that you're trying to maintain. That's not going to work. You're not going to be able to grow bulk food. Everybody's going to have to grow some food, and you have some places that grow bulk food. You're not going to be able to grow food and feed everybody. You're not going to be able to have concrete everywhere and build houses for everybody, got an individual house, and everybody got to go to a store. That's not going to work. They just want the wood. That's it. None of this is intentional destruction of the planet. This is economics that we are supporting. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're buying this stuff. We're doing it. We're doing it. They're not doing it. We're doing it. You want chicken. And they getting it for you. They can't do these chickens like this if you don't eat them. You eat them. I keep telling y'all it's not supply and demand. It's demand and supply. It's never been supply and demand. That's backwards. There's no such thing as supply and demand. There's no such thing where you supply something and somebody demand it. No, they demand it and you supply it. It's demand and supply. It's no such thing as supply and demand. If you want cough drops right now, because you can put them in something and drink them and get intoxicated, they're going to go get you all the cough drops you can drink of. Cough drops going to be popping. Yeah, you can't supply nothing nobody demands. But anybody believe that you can cut down all these trees and the weather gonna be fine is crazy as hell. That's the part I don't understand. I understand you gonna cut them down, but I can't understand that you think you can do this and the weather gonna be fine. Because in my mind, it's like this: you got trees, you got a natural earth, and the weather's doing its natural thing. You become people, you start cutting stuff down. How are you gonna have the same weather pattern when you change the environment of the weather? That's the part I don't understand. Yeah, they would. Yeah, they would have to. They would have to get rid of those chickens. They would stop raising as many, and then they would switch to whatever you want. But it's not going to work. The planet's going to be destroyed, and people are going to have to survive for themselves. And people are going to start growing food where they're at, and it's going to go back to how it's supposed to be. You see, let me show you something. Watch this. Watch this. Look, y'all. The number of apples on a tree varies, but a mature standard tree can yield 1,500 apples. 1,500 apples, right? Let's write that down. 1,500 apples on a basic tree, right? How many seeds are in an apple? Okay. So look, in an apple, there's 5 to 10 seeds, right? So let's say 7, right? Right? So let's say 7. So let's say you got an apple tree. It has 1,500 apples times 7. That's 10,500 apples. So one apple tree could grow 10,500 apple trees. Because it's got 1,500 times 7. 1,500 times 7. Right? One apple tree could make 10,000. 10,000 it could make millions, right? So if you just put some apples out in nature and just left them alone, you would have trillions and trillions and trillions of apples, trillions and trillions and trillions of oranges, millions and millions and trillions of mangoes would grow by themselves. Birds would pick them up, the animals would walk off with them, they would spread everywhere. The animal run off with the mango, eat it. The monkey eat the mango, throw the seed over there. You got mangoes over there. Now you got avocados over there. So if you left the earth alone, there'd be food everywhere. But if you got food everywhere, you can't sell it. So the only way you can sell food is you got to have a shortage of food. You can't have an abundance of food. So you got to go cut all this. You can't let nothing grow in nature. You got to grow it behind a wall. You got to grow it. You got to go kill all the sunflowers. You don't see no sunflowers, so nobody can have no sunflower seed. You got to sell seedless watermelons, so nobody can grow no watermelons. You got to sell seedless grapes, so you can't grow your own grapes. You got to sell seedless marijuana, so you can't grow your own marijuana. And now you got to come buy it from them. But you really don't need them in the natural world. You would have everything you can dream of. There would be plenty of land, and you would build your land and live there, and your relatives would live there, and you would just pass it down until you didn't have any relatives. The land would sit there. Somebody else would move on and say, oh, yeah, the Johnsons were some old people. They didn't have no babies. They passed away. This land is open. And somebody else would move there. And you wouldn't need nothing from them. So they're manipulating you so they can make all this money and make you basically an economic slave. So that they can have 40 mink coats. So they can have 5 luxury cars. So they can have 9 luxury homes all over the world. That's all it's about. Greed of a few people, and then they put a prestige over it that they're better than you, that they're high class. You got high class, you got kind of high class, you got sort of high class, you got kind of high middle class, sort of middle class, middle class, lower middle class, kind of high class poor, middle poor, and poor. And once you get your car and your little mink coat, you ready to play the game because you dress better than me. You want to see how I'm living. You want to compare how I'm living, how you living. Pharaoh, how you living? Oh, I'm living better than you, even though you still way at the bottom. But just the fact that you could be better than me is enough for you. Yeah, you a slave, but you slave number. You slave number 459, and I'm only slave number 329. You way up in the 400s. Now you ain't in the millions with the rich, but you're a higher ranking slave than me. And that means all the world to you. Basically. That means everything to you. But the whole time you a sucker. Now, if you get out here and you start hustling, you start selling illegal stuff, the police got to get you because you cheating. You cheat. You can't just go out here and get no money like that. You got to get the money the way we tell you to get the money. What is you doing? No, you can't sell that stuff. You got to go work for Walgreens if you want to sell drugs. You can't. What is you doing? We the only one can sell drugs and legalize. We tell you which drug you can use and which one you can't. What is you doing? That's not a herb, that's a drug. Oh, we can make it legal now. We can say, okay, it's a herb again. Open up the dispensaries. Sorry we locked all y'all up. We ain't gonna make up for it, but we're gonna take over that business too. Look how many black men went to jail for marijuana. And now look, how many white people getting rich from it. I'm not saying it's racial. I'm just saying it look racial. I'm not saying it's racial. I don't think I have to say it's racial. It looked like that. That's all I'm saying. It looked racist and prejudiced. It just looked like that. I ain't saying it is, because we know this is just one big love fest. know they we know this is a big old love fest. So the idea that they is doing everything, that all of the everything happening is the Babylon is everything. If it's a tornado, you believe that Babylon did it. If it's an earthquake, this how much you made these people like God. And you don't even know that you're saying they God. You said no, there's no nature. That was these people gods that did that to Jamaica. That's what you believe. You don't believe in no nature. Nature's gone. Over the last 10 years, I've watched people eliminate nature and say everything is man-made. There's no natural storms anymore. Every storm is made by heart. And I've been told y'all that a storm is going to destroy heart and bust y'all bubble. Remember, I said it first. Heart is going to get hit by a natural disaster, and I can't wait. And I'm going to ask y'all, okay, what tore up Harp? Harp tore up Harp? Because Harp going to definitely get by a tornado or some kind of bad storm. And I cannot wait to come over here and ask y'all, okay, so what, Harp destroy Harp? Because now everything they see in the clouds, everything is man-made. No, you don't believe in God no more. You don't believe in nature no more. You believe these people like the Wizard of Oz, like you believe they're God. Everything happens. They did it. Pharaoh, you slow. Everything is a conspiracy. Everything. They did everything. They all powerful. But in the Wizard of Oz, when they pulled the curtain back, it was a little bitty weird punk back there. There wasn't nothing. And he was manipulating everybody. In the book 1984, they had everybody believing in Big Brother. And at the end, the people escaped out that area where they lived. And when they got out in the world, nobody cared nothing about Big Brother. They had them thinking in that world they lived in, that world was everywhere. And they got out there and found out it wasn't no Big Brother at all. And that other people wasn't doing nothing what they was doing. Go read the book 1984. That's a book you should make your children read, 1984. I kid you not. You should make your children read the book 1984. Because in the book 1984, they had brainwashed everybody to believe that the system was all powerful. You couldn't even have sex unless you got approved by the government. They locked them up for kissing in public. That book is deep. And at the end, when they got out, they found out Big Brother wasn't nothing. It was all a hoax. That they had them in the area brainwashed. They got around other people. They like, who was Big Brother? They was like, y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. They was like, what you mean? Yeah. And they was like, well, we can't. They was like, we can't do whatever you want to do. They was like, why? And they found out it was all a hoax. That stuff ain't even real. That they not even as powerful as they try to make you think they are. They're not that powerful like that. It's all brainwashing. There ain't nobody really. They control you with mind control. That's how they control you. It's all mind control. Got you thinking that everything happened. They did it. You need to read this. When your children get like in the fifth or sixth grade, eighth grade, sit down and make them read it. Don't let them do it on no internet either. Make them get the book and make them read it. Don't put them in this Babylon system where everything they doing on the computer. Get some books around the house so when the electricity go out, have some candles. Be able to survive without Big Brother. Don't put your children in this matrix like that. You feel me? And I want to once again say, shout out to everybody in Jamaica. I ain't making light of what happened to the brothers and sisters in Jamaica. That was a terrible situation that y'all going through. But Jamaica, it's time for you to really think about how you want to rebuild. Because they're going to try to come in there with them Chinese. And they're going to try to turn your whole island into a resort. That's what they're going to try to do. Jamaica better stand up. Jamaica better stand up. Jamaica, you better stand up. You better stand up. Because they're going to come and try to take your island from you. Yeah. They're going to come try to take that island from them. Remember I told you. They're going to come and try to take it from them. But one thing y'all got to remember, if they take it from you, Mother Nature going to tear it right back down. This is just the beginning. If you don't think that Mother Nature is on a tear, you got a surprise coming. And everything they build, it's going to get tore down. I'm going to be here in Chicago and it's going to crash. Chicago going to crash. You're going to look up, ain't going to be no lights on nowhere in Chicago. The whole Lake Michigan might be downtown. I'm telling you. One day, I was a little boy. I might have been 10, 11, or 12. I'm riding with my daddy. We on the highway going downtown. And you could see downtown Chicago. I was a little boy. And my daddy told me, he said, all that mess gonna fall in the lake. When I was a little boy, that's what he said. My daddy said, all that's gonna fall in the lake. That's what he said, y'all. When I was a little boy, I never forgot it. He said, why they build all that stuff like that? Why they didn't build it back? That's what he said. He said, why they didn't build it back out the way? Why they put it all on the edge of that water like that and they keep stacking that up there? He said, all that gonna fall right into that lake. That's what my daddy told me. And since my daddy told me that, it's been times where I had to have a business and apartment and stuff. I always want to be on the third floor up. I don't want to be on the first or second floor because I believe it's going to be underwater. On my soul. It ain't no way that junk is not going to fall in that lake. All that weight. And this ain't the new Chicago. This an old picture. It's more buildings than that. Oh, yeah. It's way more junk down there than this. You should see. If you was to look at this picture and look at a new picture today, you would not believe how much stuff they still stacking up. Like these people is really crazy, y'all. These people that run this planet, y'all, is crazy. They lunatics. I'm telling you. They are absolutely nuts. You would not believe how much stuff they stacking down there. You wouldn't believe it. Non-stop, y'all. They just buildings on top of buildings. This the river. This the lake. And right down the middle is the river. So it's the lake. And to your left a little bit, to your left, where the picture is running out, is this river. So you can take a boat to take you out on the lake, and then it'll turn, then it'll go down this water right here, all the way down to the end of this picture, and go up around the Chicago River, take you back out to Lake Michigan, and go back to Navy Pier. So on this side where I'm at is all the lake, and what y'all looking at is the river, and they got all that junk sitting on the river and the lake. A lake with a river running right out of it, and they got all this heavy stuff. And they believe they could keep stacking that stuff up. You can't make this up. And they wanted to be on the edge so it'd be pretty. They wanted to be on the edge so it'd be pretty. And y'all know if it fall in there, what the tidal wave gonna be like? What the tidal wave gonna be like if it fall in? It's gonna be biblical. And they still building like they crazy. Look. Look. If you ever come to Chicago, take the architectural tour. You're going to get on the boat. It's going to take you on the lake. It's going to take you down the river. It's going to show you all these buildings. Go see for yourself. It's beautiful as far as from the Babylonian point of view. Dubai is worse because Dubai is not even a real land. They made the island. Dubai is even worse because Chicago was a real land and Dubai is a man-made island. It ain't even no real land. They made the island and stacked the stuff up there. So Dubai is by far worse because Dubai not even real land. It's a man-made island with all that junk on there. Y'all know that's going to fall. Y'all know that's going to fall. I just showed a friend of mine that they putting a stadium on top of a skyscraper. Y'all seen that? Y'all seen the stadium they trying to put on top of a skyscraper? They trying to put a stadium on top of a skyscraper. Search it. Ain't no way I'll go in there. This is what it looked like. To the right. These pictures to the right. A stadium on top of a skyscraper. Ain't no way. These people have lost their mind. Expect more natural disasters and get yourself together. Because these people have lost their mind. And we're going to show you this and we're going to leave it as there. Evidence. There is unequivocal evidence that the earth is warming at an unprecedented rate. Human activity is the principal cause. The rate of change since the mid-20th century is unprecedented over millennia. Earth's climate has changed throughout history. Just in the last 800,000 years, there have been 8 cycles of ice ages and warmer periods. With the end of the last ice age about 11,700 years ago, marking the beginning of the modern climate era and of human civilization. Most of these climate changes are attributed to very small variations in Earth's orbit that change the amount of solar energy our planet receives. The current warming trend is different because it is clearly the result of human activity since the mid-1800s and is proceeding at a rate not even over many recent millennials. It is undeniable that human activities have produced the atmospheric gases that have trapped more of the sun's energy in the Earth's system. This extra energy has warmed the atmosphere, ocean, and land, and widespread and rapid changes in the atmosphere, ocean, cryosphere, and biosphere have occurred. Go look it up, read it. Scientific evidence for warming of the climate system is unequivocal. Real talk. It's up, y'all. Like I said, much respect to the brothers and sisters in Jamaica, and y'all stay strong, all right? And remember, we're going to talk about survival. Get your survival gear ready. Have you some backup electricity, solar power. Have you some food stored up. Have you some alternative lights. Be able to make your own fire. Have you some beans and rice and stuff put away that won't go bad, and be ready because it's going down for sure. Victory.